Chicago's longest-serving alderman is going to prison. Today, Ed Burke was sentenced to 2 years behind bars in order to pay millions of dollars in fines. The former alderman was convicted of racketeering and bribery by a federal jury. Here's CBS 2's Marybel Gonzalez with what unfolded inside the courtroom. Marybel.
Good evening, Erica. After weeks of court hearings, the disgraced alderman is finally learning his legal fate. He walked out of that courthouse without having to say anything to us or answering our questions, but plenty was said about him, from prosecutors accusing him of scheming and being unremorseful of his actions, to his supporters and his defense likening him to a priest without a collar.
2 years in prison for the longest-serving alderman in Chicago history. Our cameras rolling as Ed Burke walked out of the federal courthouse and into his SUV alongside his wife.
Is this good news? Is this sentence good news for your family?
To our questions, both were silent.
He will have to do his time.
CBS legal analyst Irv Miller says that silence could be for a reason.
That's the reason he didn't say anything in front of the judge, like, I'm sorry. He wants to maintain his right to have an appeal.
The 80-year-old ex-alderman sentenced for racketeering and bribery after prosecutors say he used his political position for personal and financial gain, specifically towards his law firm. At that hearing, U.S. District Judge Virginia Kendall calling Burke's actions, unfortunately, an erosion of faith in public officials, while also taking into account Burke's good deeds presented by his team, who called Burke, quote, a priest without a collar. In all, the judge sentencing him to less than the prosecution's ask of 10 years in prison, while also imposing a $2 million fine.
The judge didn't give him home confinement and send him home and give him a slap on the wrist, but she didn't send him away for a long time either. She split the difference.
So what's next for the alderman? Burke must report for his prison sentence in September, his team asking that to be served at a minimum security prison camp in Oxford, Wisconsin. But that is yet to be determined.
It's a place where they put people that they know will not escape. They're not going to run out. So they don't have to worry about guard towers and things like that. But he's locked up 24/7, which is not an easy thing for most people, particularly one who's led a life like Alderman Burke has.
Now, we're told Burke's appeal could start immediately, but that process could take months, if not years. And remember, once again, he has to report to serve his prison term in September. Reporting live in the control room, Marybel Gonzalez, CBS 2 News.
Thank you, Marybel.